Hi, this is Gina, and today is my second video for this channel, which is called Narc-Anon, which is a 12-step approach at dealing with toxic relationships and narcissistic abuse and etc. So, starting with the next video, we're going to begin discussing um, different topics or things that come up in toxic relationships and how we can um, begin to change things by changing our outlook in the way that we approach things and that. But the very first thing that we're going to address, and it's pretty much only out of importance, is we're going to address the topic of violence in toxic relationships. And obviously, because it's an important thing to discuss, and for those of us that are in violent relationships, a lot of times when we find 12-step, when we first come into 12-step, we're so mixed up about everything, we're so confused, and we just don't know what to do about anything, that we don't even know what to do when we're in desperate situations, which can include violence. So this is just what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to be reading from one of Al-Anon's books. This is probably pretty much like the main book of Al-Anon, and by main I mean it's kind of what it's most Al-Anon's probably go-to book. It's not my favorite, but it is by all means it's an awesome book. But and I do recommend that if you're interested in learning about Al-Anon 12-step groups and codependency and how we deal with these things, this is definitely a good book to have and read. And maybe it will be your favorite. But it's an awesome book. But I'm just going to read a little bit from it regarding violence, and this is kind of how we see violent relationships in different 12-step programs. So here we go. This is a special word to anyone confronted with violence. Al-Anon's gentle process unfolds gradually over time. But those of us facing violent, potentially life-threatening situations may have to make immediate choices to ensure our safety for ourselves and our children. It is not necessary to decide how to resolve the situation once and for all, only how to get out of harm's way until this process of awareness, acceptance, and action can free us to make choices for ourselves that we can live with. Anyone who has been physically or sexually abused or even threatened may be terrified of taking any action at all. It can require every ounce of courage and faith to act decisively. But no one has to accept violence. No matter what seems to trigger the attack, we all deserve to be safe. So just as a little bit of a disclaimer to this program of 12-step, and if you're joining us and you're new to the concept of 12-step, one of the things that we don't ever really do in 12-step is give advice to anyone else, unless it's really like a sponsor-sponsee relationship. Sometimes they can kind of make you do stuff that you need to do, but other than that, we really don't give advice to one another in 12-step. And violence and or like physically threatening situations is where I think, in my opinion, it's okay to give advice. And a lot of people agree with me, and there are some people who kind of don't. But and I could get into that more, but I'll probably do a video on why we don't give advice in 12-step. But because there really are a lot of reasons behind that. But for right now, I think it's just important that we addressed the issue of violence. So I think talking about how to deal with violence, if you're new to the program, if you're new to 12-step, if you're in that type of situation, like a violent situation, and you don't know what to do, just heed those words, because And if you don't have an answer, you're not sure what to do, as long as you're not in immediate danger, you don't have to figure it out right now. So just keep yourself safe, and the rest will come. More will be revealed, as we like to say in 12 step. So welcome to the channel. I'm going to directly follow this video with it will be the third video, which is going to be the first video where we're actually gonna start using 12 step to heal from this stuff. So hope to see you. Thank you.